I have received so many emails about this particular issue and delaying it. And most of the emails have said over and over again, please do what the voters have already decided by the Charter Review Commission. And so this has been decided by all my pile of emails, most of them. And so although I respectfully disagree, and I know how hard it is to eat elephants one bite at a time even, I just can't see us delaying this this IRV voting. So I think that the council should move ahead.
Okay. Good.
Mr. Meary.
Yes, if we're going to count emails, I have about 30 that say do not close the polls. I've had one from my district that say, do not delay ranked choice voting. So it's 30-1 in my district. So I guess it depends on what district you live in. Closing the polls is very unpopular with a lot of my constituents, and I happen to have my number and my address, my phone number, and it's at Kiwanis, you name it. It's like, don't close the polls. So that's one of the underlying consternations I have about this. So
thanks. Thank you. Any additional comments or questions? See none, the clerk will call the roll on the final passage of the ordinance.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Councilmember Farrell. That was aye. Okay. Councilmember Gelman.
No.
Councilmember Murray.
Aye.
Councilmember Bunny.
Aye.
Councilmember Bush.
Aye.
Councilmember Goings.
Aye.
The proposal passes as amended, 5-1.
Thank you. Item 6, proposed ordinance 2007-68S. Mr. Bunny.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to move proposal number 2007-68S for final approval.
second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve 2007-68S. The clerk will now read the title into the record, please.
Proposal number 2007-68S is an ordinance of the Pierce County Council proposing amendments to the Pierce County Charter to clarify and establish procedures for the conduct of ranked choice voting, requesting the auditor to submit these amendments to the voters at the November 2007 general election, and requesting the deputy prosecuting attorney to draft an appropriate ballot title.
Thank you, Ms. Face. Ms. Long.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This proposal was forwarded to the Council without recommendation by the Rules and Operations Committee on July 23rd. This proposal contains the language we've just discussed. It describes the process for conducting instant runoff voting in Section 2 of Exhibit A.
This is the one that would say up to 3.
And it says, yes, excuse me, this does say up to 3, and then it continues to describe the process for doing so, but it would limit it to 3.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Any comments or questions by members of the council? Ms. Gelman, did you have a question? That's all right. This is a public hearing. Anyone wishing to speak for or against proposed ordinance 2007-68S, please step forward and state your name for the record. You have 3 minutes.
Kelly Haughton from Gig Harbor. This one seems a bit redundant given what you've already done. I don't think you really need this one given what you've already done. Plus, it is something that you could do with your privileges as a county council. In section 4.10, paragraph 3, it says the county council may pass regulations that allow for the implementation of this of instant runoff voting, and so this is an unnecessary amendment at this point in time for 2 reasons. One is what you just passed, and the other is the fact that you can do this by ordinance. Fine.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Good afternoon, Randy Boss, Gig Harbor. I agree with Mr. Haughton. This is redundant. This language, most of this ordinance is contained, or this proposed ordinance is contained in the ordinance you just passed, with the exception of the whereas on the first page, number 7, which requires a clarification of the number of rankings for each vote. And I would suggest that that whereas be eliminated, as well as in section 410, the election procedures in subparagraph 1, where it says that the ballot shall give voters the option of ranking up to 3 candidates in order of preference. The other changes, the language inserted here in paragraph 2 is the language that was just adopted in paragraph 1. Unfortunately, it's my opinion that because you have now inserted this language into the last ordinance, which extends the deadline from 08 to 010, that this ordinance will probably be defeated, leaving the last ordinance to go to the voters. That ordinance will be defeated because of the 08-010 discrepancy, and this language that's required to clarify the process for IRV is not going to be codified anywhere. So I would piggyback on Mr. Houghton's comments that when that happens, the council has the authority by ordinance to fix this language in paragraph 2 into an ordinance rather than an amendment to the charter, and I would encourage the council to do that. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Liz Kernitz, Thurlow, League of Women Voters of Tacoma Pierce County. Talking about this one in relation to the other one doesn't really matter because you're talking about the possibility of sending multiple ordinances to the voters, and what happens if they all pass will be anybody's guess. But the change here is that it would say now the ballot shall give voters the option of ranking up to 3 candidates in order of preference. The charter is vague, as charters often are. People are upset now that the software available only allows ranking of up to 3, but I understood that everybody's concern was that someday we would have software that would allow ranking of more candidates. So codifying an up to 3 when we're hoping to make it more, which would require then another ordinance, whereas if you leave it alone, it would seem that it just says rank candidates, and if we can rank 3, then we rank 3, and if that changes, we do more. But this seems unnecessary.
Ms. Kernitz, Thurlow, thank you. Anyone else? Seeing none, I'll close public comment. The one question was raised about multiple amendments passing. Mr. Cox, I think Section 3 deals with that in this ordinance. Could you just reference Section 3?
Sure, Chair Goings. Section 3 of the ordinance contains a provision which provides that this charter amendment takes effect only if approved by a vote exceeding the vote registered by either the charter amendment created by ordinance number 2007-63S3 or the charter amendment created by ordinance number 2007-65S. I can go into further detail about the, okay.
Thank you. I think you cited the appropriate section. Any final comments or questions on this proposal? Mr. Murie.
Yeah, the question's been asked that stated that we can change a charter amendment by ordinance, and I think we've had conflicting legal advice about that, and so I'd like to have that stated, because a lot of people think that we're shirking our duty by passing this on to the voters, but in reality, this is like a constitutional amendment that has to be, I believe. The people did it by charter. I think people need to change it by charter. Thanks.